Hello everybody and welcome to this revision video. Okay, so let's get started right away. I will try to keep the videos very short because I'm going to make maybe 1, 2, 3 videos, okay? So starting with a review of what we are going to do. So we've got Unit 7 and the present perfect tense. Unit 8, obligation and advice. So we did this in class. We did the revision already, so we're just going to review it quickly. Then we have Unit 9, past perfect and continuous. Unit 10, we also revised a little bit the passive forms in class. Maybe we're just going to have one more exercise from the workbook. And finally, the present perfect continuous from Unit 11. So starting with Unit 7, the present perfect, first we're going to see what is the form of the present perfect. So we're going to review quickly the form, how to conjugate the verb, and when do we use the present perfect, so the uses of this tense. Okay, starting with the form. Of course, you can pause the video whenever you want, but I'm going to post a PDF of this presentation on the Facebook group page, so no worries. Okay, what is the form? We have to use the auxiliary verb have in the present simple. So have with I, you, we, they, or has with he, she, it, and then the past participle of the verb. I've chosen the example to take. I have taken, right? Or I've taken for the contracted form. You can use the contracted form, of course. Okay, the negative we just add not, and this is the question and short answer. Have you taken your medication? Yes, I have. This is short answer. When do we use the present perfect? Let's consider the two sentences that we have here. I lived in Algiers from 2001 to 2008. I live in Algiers. Okay, when you use this verb in this form, I lived in Algiers from 2001 to 2008, the action is finished, right? It's in the past. I do not live in Algiers in the present, right? So this is we use the past simple for finished actions. Okay, I live in Algiers. We're speaking about now, so this is a present simple. It is used for a fact. It is true now. What about the third sentence now? I have lived in Algiers since 2003. The meaning of this is I lived in Algiers in the past and I still live in Algiers in the present. Okay? This is why we use the present perfect. As I said and repeated many times, the present perfect refers to the past and the present. So this is like a mathematical formulation to understand the tense that is the present perfect. I said it is quite specific to the language, to the English language, but I think you get the notion now, the notion of connecting past and present and using the present perfect to express that. Okay, so in general, we're going to say that we use the present perfect simple tense to refer to an action which began in the past and continues to the present. Jane has worked so hard for this company. She worked in the past for the company, but she still works for the company. The action is not finished. If Jane does not work in the company anymore, in the present we're going to use the past simple because it is a finished action. Because it is not a finished action, Jane worked in the company and still works in the company, we use the present perfect. Dave and Esther have lived in Cardiff since 1980. Since 1980, meaning up to the present. Okay, so the second point, we use the present perfect to refer to life experiences. So general experiences about life. So we've got the example, I've never tried Chinese food. So you have never, meaning not at any point in the past in my life up to the present. So you see here again connecting the past and the present. I've never tried Chinese food. Have you ever broken your arm? So have you at any point in your life had the experience of breaking your arm? In your life, from the past to the present. So have you had this experience? Generally with life experiences and the use of the present perfect, we generally use the adverbs never or ever. Okay, and the third point is that we use the present perfect to refer to a past action. So the action is somewhat finished, but the action has a present result. So it has results in the present time. Example, the taxi has just arrived. The taxi has just arrived. The action of arriving is finished, but there's a result. So the taxi is waiting. Okay, it's outside. Another example, the PM has just resigned. PM or Prime Minister. The PM has just resigned, so it was just announced now. He resigned, and so the country, there's a present result, the country does not have a Prime Minister anymore in the present. Okay? So this is it. An action which began in the past and continues to the present. Life experiences a past action with results in the present. And there's always this idea of connecting the past and the present with the present perfect tense. Okay, sometimes you might hesitate what to use, the present perfect or the past simple. And in these instances, there could be in the sentence some time expressions to help you choose your tense correctly. Okay, so time expressions for the past simple, you can have last week, last year, last holiday, okay? Yesterday, the day before yesterday, in 1999, in 2007, etc. So a definite point in the past, a clear point in the past, okay? On July the 21st, 3 months ago, so whenever you have the adverb ago, you're going to use the past simple. For 2 weeks, so I'm going to come back to this later, to the last one, okay? For the present perfect, we generally find since, okay? Ever for life experiences, never life experiences again, just, already, yet. For 2 weeks, so we have these that are similar here in the present perfect and in the past simple. Okay, so when you use the expression for with the past simple, it means that the action is finished. For example, I stayed at my grandmother's house for 2 weeks, but now I'm not at my grandmother's house. Or you can say the same sentence using the present perfect and say, I have stayed at my grandmother's for 2 weeks. Meaning that I stayed for 2 weeks and I am still at my grandmother's house. So the action continues, okay? Now, we have to quickly review the past simple. You are supposed to know the form of the past simple by now, but if you need to refresh your mind, okay, so it's quite simple. You just conjugate the verb. If it is irregular, you have to learn the irregular past form, and if it is regular you just add ed, didn't for the negative, did for the questions and short answers. Okay, so practice. Let's see if you have understood, if you can manage to answer the question that we have here. You're going to choose between the present perfect and the past simple in these sentences. Alright, so you can pause the video, think, and try to get the right answer. Okay. Number 1. Did you ever been married? Or have you ever been married? You have the word ever, so we are referring to the experience. Alright, do you have this life experience? Okay, because we're speaking about life experiences in the past up to the present with ever, we're going to say, have you ever been married? Present perfect. Number 2. We have lived, or we lived here for 5 years and we're very happy here. Okay, so we have lived here for 5 years and we're very happy here. So why not lived? Why not a finished action? Because simply it's not finished. When you continue the sentence, you're going to see that continues in the present. We are very happy in that place. We are in the present. So the action of living started in the past and continues to the present. Number 3. What have you done at the weekend? Or what did you do at the weekend? The weekend is finished, right? It is over. So we're going to use past simple. What did you do at the weekend? Number 4. She moved to Barcelona in 2001. Or she has moved to Barcelona in 2001. Moved, because this is a finished action. The action of moving is finished, and you even have this time expression to help you in 2001. It's in the past. Number 5. I haven't seen you for months. How are you? Or I didn't see you for months. How are you? I haven't seen you for months. You have the expression for, and we also understand that there is a present result. So I haven't seen you. Now I don't know about your news. Maybe I miss you, etc. So I haven't seen you for months. You have a present result. Number 6. They got back from their holiday last night. Or they have got back from the holiday last night. Last night, finished, right? So we're going to use got. What did he do before he became a politician? What has he done before he became a politician? So now he is a politician, right? But we're asking about what he did before, right? Before, so this is finished. What did he do before he became a politician? Number 8. When have you inherited the house? Or when did you inherit the house? Is the action of inheriting finished or not? It is a finished action. You inherit it and that's it. Okay? When did you inherit the house? Number 9. How long have you known the Duke and Duchess? Or how long did you know the Duke and Duchess? So you knew them in the past. You knew these two people in the past, but you still know them in the present, right? Okay, so how long have you known the Duke and Duchess? They are charming. 10. My great-grandmother died last year. My great-grandmother has died last year. The action is finished, sadly. Okay. died. 11. Meryl Streep won 3 Oscars. Meryl Streep has won 3 Oscars. So Meryl Streep is a very famous actress, American actress, and she is still alive. So she won Oscars in the past, but she can still win more Oscars in the present. She is still an actress. So we're going to use has won 3 Oscars. Okay, so quickly reviewing unit number 8, advice and obligation. We said that for advice we use should, shouldn't, must. Examples: people should preserve nature, right? You shouldn't eat too much salt, sugar and fat. Okay, advice. We must see the new Nadine Labaki film. It seems spectacular. We must see. This is not an obligation here, but just a strong advice or a strong suggestion. Next we have obligation. How do we express obligation? By using must, mustn't, have to, has to, had to. Examples: everyone must get tested before traveling abroad. So now it's an obligation with COVID and everything. Before you take a plane, you must get tested, you see. Okay, next, you mustn't smoke in here. It's forbidden. An obligation not to smoke. Do I have to present my ID at the exam? Have to. Do I have to present? Okay, is there this obligation? She has to work 10 hours a day. Not she have to work, right? You have to conjugate the verb. She has to work 10 hours a day. In the past now, how do we ask or formulate a sentence expressing obligation in the past? Did you have to go to school when you were a child? This is for questions. Did you have to? Of course I had to go to school. Had for the past affirmative. Okay? And you notice that after all these modal verbs, must, should, shouldn't, mustn't, etc., you get the verb in the infinitive form. Okay? Infinitive, without to, except for the have to form. Finally, how do we express a lack of obligation? So you express a lack of obligation with don't have to, doesn't have to, didn't have to. So using the negative form of have to in all its forms. Example: you don't have to write this. You really don't have to write this because I'm going to post the PDF as I told you. Jeremy doesn't have to sit for the exam again, so nothing obliges him to sit for the exam. I didn't have to prepare this revision, but I did it for you, so nothing obliged me to do it. Okay, that's it for the first part. I'll see you in the second video. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments, or you can even message me.